Glad to have you with us for this week's edition of UND Sports Extra. I'm Alex Heinert. After back-to-back road games to open the 2016 college football season, the University of North Dakota returned home to close out their non-conference schedule against one of their oldest rivals, the University of South Dakota. The last time the Coyotes had made the trip to Grand Forks in 2011, UND rallied from a second-half 20-point deficit to earn a memorable comeback victory. And ironically, history had a tendency to repeat itself, especially on Saturday. To the Alaris Center we go, where Bubba Schweigert was matched against the man who hired and succeeded him as the head coach of Minnesota Duluth in the mid-2000s, first-year Coyote head man Bob Nielsen. UND unbeaten in their last 29 home openers, and Cole Reyes would get on track to make it 30 in a row. The junior safety is all over this 10-yard out from Chris Streveler, and he beats everybody to the goal line for his first career pick six, 7-3 UND after one. After the second Coyote field goal of the first half, Keaton Studsrud would come back with the help of his true freshman receiving core, Noah Wanzik, making a great adjustment on this deep ball to make the 36-yard grab inside USD territory. 5 plays later, Studsrud hits his other true freshman target man, Travis Toivonen, right here from 11 yards out for the touchdown. 14-6 right now. UND very much in control of this football game. Another look at Toivonen's touchdown grab. Nice catch by the true freshman from Red Wing, Minnesota. South Dakota, though, would roar back in the final 5 minutes of the first half. Streveler hitting a wide-open Drew Potter on a 30-yard seam route. That would pull the Yotes within one at 14-13. Next UND series, Studsrud pass goes through Toivonen's hands and right into Danny Rambo's. That's the first pick for Studsrud in almost a year, 127 pass attempts to be exact. USD would score 6 plays later, and they weren't done in this first half. Under a minute left in the second quarter, Streveler finds Riley Donovan, who rips the ball away from Tyus Carter and coasts into the end zone for a 63-yard score. North Dakota heads into the locker room down 27-14, and it would get worse before it would get better. USD opens the second half with the football, goes on a 14-play, 75-yard drive, capped off by that 4-yard touchdown run by Trevor Bama. 28 unanswered from USD. 34-14 at this point, but there would be no quits in North Dakota. Down 34-17 now in the fourth. Studsrud in the offense comes alive. The junior finds Luke Stanley for 28 yards here, and then he hits John Santiago from 7 yards out. First career touchdown reception for the former receiver for UND, 34-24. Next UND possession, 7 minutes remaining on 4th and 1 from their own 42. Nobody expecting Studsrud to keep it, and he works the bootleg to perfection. 2 plays later, Studsrud shows off his ability to improvise, escaping the pocket here and taking off for 37 yards down to the USD 16. That's the longest run for the quarterback this season. That would lead to a Reed Sabenheim's field goal, his second of the ball game. This one from 28 yards out, and it is a 1-score contest with just 5 minutes remaining. Ensuing possession for South Dakota on 3rd and 10. Chris Streveler decides to test Deion Harris, and the junior quarterback knows all the answers. He takes the pick 33 yards in for the game-tying score. Same distance as Reyes did in the first quarter. 3rd pick in 2 games for Harris. 2nd straight week they pick 6. UND's defense would then stop South Dakota on their next possession. So to overtime we go. Yotes win the toss, defer. UND gets their turn on offense first, and they would not take long to strike. This is the first play of overtime. John Santiago from 25 yards out, his second score of the ball game. John would finish with 140 yards in the ground, but USD not done yet. They're used to this overtime thing. The week after connecting in OT against Weber State, Streveler hits Shamar Jackson on the Yotes' first play of overtime to match Santiago's score and extend this contest. Yote ball first in overtime number 2, and on 3rd down, great pass breakup by Torrey Hunt at the goal line. USD has to settle for a field goal to go up by 3, so North Dakota just needs a touchdown to win. And it would sure look like they get one right here. John Santiago on 1st and goal from 8 yards out. Tremendous effort, but hold the celebrations. It sure looks like he's in, but they would go to review. The replay officials would determine Santiago was down before crossing the goal line. The victory would just be delayed by only a few plays. On 3rd and goal, Studsrud would sneak it in to complete an incredible comeback and give North Dakota their first win of the season in dramatic fashion, 47-44 in double overtime. UND extends their home win streak over South Dakota to 13 straight north of the border. The Fighting Hawks now 7-3 all-time in overtime games. They've won 6 straight in that contest. Earning this W, though, anything but easy.
We knew the whole game was going to be a fight. We knew it was going to be a battle from first quarter to fourth. Coach came in the locker room and he said, "Hey guys, we need to have a belief that we would win this game." We left that locker room with a real belief, and we came out and we played physical like we are taught to do, and it turned out good.
It was a roller coaster of a game for sure. You know, we kind of held in there right away at the beginning, and then we had a slow second quarter, both offensively and defensively, but we came together at the end, and that's what mattered.
It was up and down. I'm speechless right now, man. I can't believe this happened. Yeah, we came together, that's all I know.
It means a lot to us. It gives us a little momentum, and we're just excited to start conference play.
Much more to come on the wild double overtime win with UND head football coach Bubba Schweigert when UND Sports Extra returns.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by Farmers Union Insurance and the University of North Dakota.
Welcome back, and we're joined now by UND head football coach Bubba Schweigert, fresh off one of the least interesting football games I'm sure you've ever been a part of, a wild 47-44 double overtime win. How long does it take for a victory like that, just to process all the ups and downs of this football game?
Well, it takes quite some time. You know, there's so many emotions in a game like that, and especially the finish with all the replays and thinking you won the game maybe 2 different times. And, you know, just a lot of things go through your mind after the game. But, you know, you got to get over it and move on and learn from that experience.
Coming into this, the first home game for your team this season, you had mentioned in the lead-up that being at home is great, but the crowd needs to feed off the team, not the other way around. And early in that contest, they really were. Big plays by Cole Reyes, a big pick six. Offense was clicking, you're up 14-6. It felt like you had that great crowd-team relationship going.
It was great. You know, when we showed up for our walk in the lot, you know, we had a great atmosphere out in the tailgate lot, and then obviously a great atmosphere in the building with our largest crowd for quite some time. And really appreciate the folks that support us and get off to a good start. And then also, the air came out of the building too when we weren't playing well. So you get both sides of that, but we somehow found a way to overcome it and earn a really good victory. Yeah,
11,000 people, over 11,000 in the Alaris to support you guys. And the defense, but before the air was let out, the defense was playing great, holding USD, a team that was scoring upwards of 37 points a game coming into this contest, holding them in check. Again, you really played a strong quarter and a half of football, and then things changed suddenly. What was the difference in that at the end of the second quarter for them to make a run on you?
Well, you know, it was big plays, and we need to get that fixed, and we need to address it, and we do address it. And you know, one was the big pass play right before half. It's essentially a one-on-one play, and we have an opportunity for the interception, which would have changed that game a whole lot. And then, you know, another drive, we missed some coverage adjustments, which, you know, those are mental mistakes, and that's what fast teams do. They want to put you in those situations that you have to think in a hurry and when you're breathing hard. And, you know, for the most part, we were doing well at that early, and for some reason it changed at some point in the second quarter.
You found yourself down 27-14 at the break. We talked with John Santiago after the game. He said the message at halftime was just to believe. He said you didn't really change much schematically. Is it as simple as that, just that self-belief in games like this?
Well, that's a big part of it. You know, your body language and how you approach the second half is huge. And, you know, we wanted to come out and get a stop and make it a one-score game. And because two-score games are very close games. You know, you get a stop, you get the first score, you get momentum, and, you know, the other team maybe gets on their heels a little bit. But we didn't do that. It became a 3-score game, so now it became much more difficult. But I'll really credit our staff and our players. They stuck with a plan, and we grounded out and kind of stayed running the same things. Few adjustments here and there that helped us, but for the most part, stuck with the plan and found a way.
Yeah, it felt like the offense found a much better rhythm in that second half, started moving the football, finishing drives, something you really weren't doing in that first half.
No question about it. You know, we got down in there and scored touchdowns. We were disappointed in the one. We thought we had an opportunity to score and took the field goal to make it a 17-point game, which would have given us much more advantage when you get in the end zone. But give our special teams credit. You know, Reed was solid there, and it takes a snapper and a holder to get that ball down and just get points, because it's important to get points and keep chipping away at the lead.
Yeah, I want to talk about one specific drive. You get to a fourth down situation in that second half, 4th and 1 from your own 42. You decide to go for it, and you make a great play by Keaton on a bootleg off to the left. The week previous against Bowling Green, similar situations, fourth quarter down, you chose to punt each of those times. What about that particular drive against USD was different than the week previous?
Yeah, we made the decision because we felt we only had so many possessions left in the game, and that's why we had to try to retain possession of the ball and go down and get points, and did in that drive. So it worked out, and just felt like the risk was what we needed to take at that point.
Yeah, that drive ended up coming together. You get a field goal there. Deion Harris has the big pick six. You're in overtime. Kind of a crazy overtime period in which you think you've won the game. They replay it. You have to win the game again. They replay that. Replay is a great thing. Obviously, you want to get the calls right. Does it kind of suck out maybe some of the emotion of it when you have to celebrate and then pull everybody off and do so again?
Well, it's a big concern when you have to go back out and snap the ball again and get focused, because our guys felt we won the game, and there's a lot of emotion and a lot of energy expended in that celebration. And then you clear the field and find out that it was reversed. So we had to get our guys focused and, get the snap and wedge it in the end zone.
Yeah. I thought a great testament to get out there and to find a way in the end after having it one on first down, having it maybe one on second, and then finishing it off on third. So you get the victory to improve to 1-2 on the season. Now you move into Big Sky play and a tough road trip to start against the Montana State team that's 2-1, a team that you beat in quite the shootout here at the Alaris last season. New head coach, new quarterback. Tell us about this Montana State team.
Well, we're impressed with what we see on tape. They're playing a different style this year. They're still going to be up-tempo, but they want to run the football a lot more. And Chad Newell is a big, strong back that is a punishing runner, and we'll need to limit his yards and really control their ground game, because that's what can set up their passing game. Very good on offense, and defensively, they're committed to playing just really tough, hard-nosed defense.
Should be an exciting challenge for you. Excited to be on the plane with you to Bozeman this week. Best of luck. Have a successful, safe trip. We'll talk about it next week.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bubba Schweigert. More UND football talk coming up next. We preview two of the young guns in the receiving corps for the Fighting Hawks. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Making the leap from high school football on Friday nights to Division I ball on Saturdays is no small feat, especially without the aid of a redshirt season. That's why the emergence of true freshman receivers for UND, Noah Wanzik and Travis Toivonen, has been so surprising this season, as they've made that transition look almost easy. For more on the new kids on offense, here's Marty Mueller.
When you stepped on campus this summer, what did you think your role was going to be? Has it been anything like that so far?
No, I had no idea what to expect coming in. I was just trying to get used to everything, where everything was. I think just get accustomed to everyone, but I had no idea what to expect.
It's a big adjustment. It's a lot more than just football. It's film, a lot of meetings. Each route has to be run a certain way. It's just a big change. So we were in the meeting room and watching film a lot.
There's plenty on any incoming freshman's plate. Is my roommate weird? Where's my classroom? Which dining center is serving pizza tonight? Drop a Division I playbook in their lap, and things can get interesting.
You never really know with freshmen, but you always expect the guys that you recruit to come in and really push the guys in your roster, and they've really done a good job of learning the system that fast. They're both very intelligent kids, and they were able to pick up on what we're trying to do offensively as far as reading coverages and throwing the football.
Both Noah and Travis have the learning part of college down. So much so that they caught the eye of the coaching staff right away. It wasn't long before early one fall morning, they received the call every freshman player hopes for.
Coach Wine called Noah Wanzik and I into his office early in the morning before, I think it was one of the fall camp practices, and he told us that we were both going to be playing this year, which I think Noah and I were both really excited because that's what we've been working for. And it was a really great feeling just knowing that I'll be able to play and not have to sit out a year. So I was pretty happy, and I think Noah was too.
I wasn't really scared. I mean, come here, everybody's bigger and faster and better than high school, but it was definitely cool and a challenge, but I liked it.
3 times, here we go, fighting Hawks, fighting Hawks, fighting Hawks!
Knowing the system is one thing. Executing is another. With this offense's passing attempts taking a back seat to the ground game, it's up to this group of fresh faces to make the most of every rep, route, and reception.
It's a lot of competition. Like Coach says that we're the most competitive group on the team, so it keeps us on our feet.
Knowing that everyone's going to be back is just, you have to keep working and keep working, because you know if you don't come out and put your best effort in, someone's going to take your spot, and it could carry over to the next season.
We tell the guys the best guys will play and everything is earned in practice, so really an emphasis with those young guys is even this week talking to them, don't get comfortable. You know, everything you do is evaluated, you know, taking it day by day and really trying to get better, just self-improvement wise.
There's no shortage of motivation within the receiving group. A few untimely injuries have opened the door for anyone willing to seize an opportunity. Right now, 2 tall, talented freshmen have taken it and ran, making some key plays along the way.
Coach told me this one's coming to you, so I was like, all right. Turned and saw the ball and caught it and tried to get my foot down, but it was pretty crazy. It was awesome.
They have size, they have strength, they have athleticism, really good with their body when the ball's in the air. I think that's kind of a natural ability. They both played basketball in high school. When that ball's up there, just having, you know, knowing how to go up and out-compete for some of those balls because of their height and their size.
While their stature has grown, so too has the stage. From high school bleachers to full-on stadiums.
It's been really fun. I mean, I've obviously never played in stadiums that big in front of that many people. So it's been a lot of fun. Just adjusting the speed has probably been the hardest part.
I just think the biggest thing for them is just they have to understand they have so much more they can learn, and they haven't even scratched the surface of really how good they can be and what they can do for our team this year and down the road.
These guys have certainly been a lot of fun to watch so far this year, and Alex can only assume that their roles are going to continue to grow as they mature here at UND.
Thanks, Marty. When we come back, we'll set the stage for Big Sky play for UND volleyball with head coach Mark Pryor. Stay tuned. Back now with UND head volleyball coach Mark Pryor, and welcome back, Mark, back home for at least a couple of days after a long, basically a season on the road to start.
We've had these past 2 weeks. We've been on the road a bunch, so it's good to be back home and kind of get back in a routine a little bit.
This past week, 4 more matches away from Grand Forks, starting on Wednesday in Brookings. South Dakota State team, a team with a fun regional rivalry that you've had. A nice 4-set win. Started a little slow against the Rabbits, but pulled away in the end.
It did. It's one of those things we went down the day of. We definitely started slow. We switched a couple things in between 2 and 3, and then after that, we just kind of ran away with it, which is, you know, sometimes you have to do it. So
yeah, that win made it 6 out of the last 7 for you, going into a big match against number 3 Minnesota on the road. Gave the Gophers a fight again, the number 3 team in the nation. Thoughts on that match against Minnesota?
Actually, they're number 2 now.
Oh, sure.
What's interesting is we took a set from them, and in the 3rd set played exceptionally well. We did some things that A&M, Florida State, North Carolina, they haven't been able to do. So for us, we're seeing when we are really locked in and we've got a chance to kind of play at our best, we can really side out with anybody. Jordan Vale and Chelsea Mosier were just pretty unstoppable against them. We kind of need 1 or 2 more to be able to have a chance in that one, but saw some really good things.
Yeah, you'd eventually fall in 4 in that one. You have 2 more matches the next day in their Diet Coke Classic in the Twin Cities. Fall in the first 1 and 3, win the second in 4. A couple different teams that you faced on Saturday in Toledo.
Yeah, with Green Bay was one of those that we just didn't have it. We were really emotionally pumped for the Minnesota match. Quick turnaround, and just honestly, I think if we played them at a different time, I think the outcome would be a little different. And then being able to come back and beat Toledo with really no downtime, that was a good sign for us that they were we weren't going to kind of just feel sorry for ourselves. Because, okay, we've got to go play and get this next one.
8-7 now through your first 15 games. Tough maybe to know where your team is at because you've been out of schedule with all these road trips. But what have you learned about your team through the first half of the season?
I've learned that we've got some pieces that can do some damage. So it's going to be really understanding who can handle a certain amount of volume as far as swings, where, you know, we probably played 3 or 4 different people in different spots defensively. I think we finally got an idea of what our best defensive rotation is. Really, I think they're ready to kind of start playing against, you know, a couple times a week. Let's game plan for this. Let's make sure that we're ready to go. They're ready to be in their schedule.
Yeah,
so
I can
we're
imagine.
excited about getting Big Sky started.
Trivia question: when was the last time you had a home game, Mark?
2004. No, it was September 3rd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
Yes.
We were so much younger back
Yes.
then, a long time
yes.
ago.
Yes.
You get another home match, first one in a long time, this Thursday against Southern Utah, opening up Big Sky play. What are going to be some keys for your team to be successful?
Well, the first thing that we're excited about is this 90s night. And I had each one of the kids kind of go with a 90s song. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with some of their choices. So that's part of it. I think that for us, it's really going to be less about right now what an opponent does and more for us to do what we've always done, try to play exceptionally clean, low error, and really work on a lot of winning first ball contact, whether that's the pass or whether it's even just getting good touches on the block.
Home game against Southern Utah. Also, free fanny packs, by the way, for anybody to come out. You can't beat that.
I got to tell you, fanny packs must have been on sale because I was like, come on, man.
Southern Utah Thursday, UNC on Saturday. Best of luck in those matches, Coach. We'll see you back here next Tuesday to talk about it. Back with more to wrap things up on UND Sports Extra.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by Farmers Union Insurance and the University of North Dakota.
2 live UND events coming up this week here on Midco Sports Network. North Dakota volleyball is on the way Thursday night at 7 p.m. as the Fighting Hawks open up Big Sky play against Southern Utah. While on Saturday, it's the Big Sky opener for UND football. Bubba and the boys will be back in Bozeman to take on Montana State. We'll have that game live for you as well at 3 p.m. Central Time. If you miss anything that's going on this week in UND athletics, we'll be sure to wrap it up for you right here next Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on our next edition of UND Sports Extra. Until then, I'm Alex Heinert. Thanks for watching.